Hey everyone, it's Mari. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I am going to share a card making process with you today, and this is the card that I'm sharing. I created a vellum overlay or kind of like a vellum window on this card, and I wanted to share this technique with you today. I'm going to start off by stamping some beautiful stamps from Altenew onto my Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock here using my Misty. And I'm going to stamp out this layered stamp set using some Altenew inks. I'm going to start off with Sunkissed, which is the lightest color in this series of oranges. And then I'm going to go to Orange Cream, Autumn Blaze, and Fire Brick. Slowly I'm going to be getting darker with my inks to create dimension with this layered stamp. So the stamp that I'm using is Altenew's Beautiful Day, which is a gorgeous floral stamp. And I'm starting off with the solid stamp in the lightest color. And then what you'll see me doing as I continue to stamp out this floral is add more detail with each of the different stamps. So each time I switch the stamp, the ink color gets darker. And with each layer, there's more detail added onto the floral piece. So it's really cool. These Altenew stamps, the layered stamps, are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. And they have the most beautiful floral stamps, I think, in their stamp collection. So I have a few of their florals in my stash, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I love this one, and it has some really pretty sentiments to it as well. I don't use a sentiment from this collection. The sentiment I use on the inside of my card is from another Altenew set called You Are an Inspiration. And but most of the Altenew stamp sets do come with a few sentiments. Some of their floral sets don't have any sentiments with them, but most of them have a few. And then of course some of their floral sets have lots of sentiments. So it just kind of depends. But Altenew does have just some most beautiful floral stamp sets. I love them. So you can see here that slowly I am getting to the last layer, and I'm going to finish off with an outline. And the outline stamp also adds a little bit of detail to the center of the flower. Now I added the fire brick with this final stamp, but I didn't think that it was quite dark enough. So I go back after and add a little bit of Simon Says Stamp ink in Sparrow, which is kind of a light brown. And I felt like it just added that little bit of extra detail that I wanted. Now I've created a mask and I've placed it over top of my flower. And now what I'm going to do is go in with some fossilized amber Distress Oxide ink and a little foam blender. And I'm just going to blend on some inks to my card front here. So my card front, and I can't remember if I did this already, but I end up in the end cutting around or using a My Favorite Things stitched rectangle die around the edge of my card front to create just sort of like a little stitched edge around the edges of it. And so for the card front, I wanted to just add a little bit of color in these two Distress Oxide inks. So now I'm adding that broken china. Now I'm going back to the fossilized amber and just blending over top of the blue. And then I'll take some more of the blue and add that. And I'm not worried about it being perfect here. I'm not too worried about it having some darker and lighter areas because I am going to go over top of this with water splatters, and I wanted it to have just kind of a really distressed look in the background because I just felt like that would add quite a bit of dimension to my card. Now I am going to go ahead and add those water splatters here, so you'll see me do that, and then you'll see me take some paper towel and just dab that up. I am going to use my heat tool to dry that up a little bit just to speed up the process of making my card here. And once I'm done that, I will move on with the next step. So I'm just using my little heat tool here quickly. And I have sped this up 4 times, obviously. It takes a little bit longer to do that, but it's worth it because I just feel like then, you can go on with your next step with your card a little more quickly. Now what I'm going to do here is I just put my card front over top of my card base, and this is an A2 size card. I die cut out, or I used the die from the Beautiful Day collection to cut out that floral piece, which is now a die cut. And I also cut in the same area on the front of my card base, that little space for that to fit into. Now I'm taking a piece of vellum and I'm going to use some Versamark ink on that, and I'm going to stamp out that outline floral piece, the last stamp I used for my little floral piece. I'm going to heat emboss some Stampin' Up! Gold embossing powder on here. This is kind of like an antique gold. It's really pretty. I love it. I'm going to heat that up to emboss that. And this is going to be the little vellum window for my card front. So you'll see I'm just going to clean up my space here. And then what I'm going to do once I've heated this up and melted that embossing powder is I'm going to fit that in between my card front and my card base, where that opening has been cut with that die from the Beautiful Day set. So I'm going to add a little bit of repositionable adhesive here and fit that vellum window with the gold embossing on it behind or in between the two layers of the front of the card. And there you can see my little vellum window is complete. Now my idea is to put my little orange flower in behind. So I just place it over top of the vellum window opening and put a little bit of adhesive on the back of it, and then close the card up so that it sticks in the right place to the inside of my card base. Now I just wanted to add a little bit more dimension to my card, and so I'm just going to do a little bit more water splattering on there. And now I'm going to take my Perfect Pearls and I'm going to just water them down a little bit and add some splatters of Perfect Pearls to the front of my card. I'm going to make some of my little splatters a little bit bigger with my brush. And now I am going to go ahead and let that dry so that I can continue with my card. Now I'm taking a little bit of vellum from Stampin' Up! That has some gold foil in it, and I'm going to use that in a little strip across the front of my card. I'm just going to almost make like a little belly band out of that and wrap the backs around the card front in behind the two layers of the card front, so that it stays adhered there. That way I don't have to put any adhesive on the vellum on the front of my card. Now I'm going to take this die set from Simon Says Stamp, and this is a thankful die set that has two pieces to it. So it has a backing and then it has the cutout of the actual word thankful. And I love dies like this. I think they're so cool. They just look so neat on your card front. Now I just cut that thankful word out twice out of some cardstock just to make it a little bit more thick. And I'm going to add a little bit of Tombow Mono glue to the back of that and adhere it down to the base, which is cut out of gold glitter. I'm going to glue that onto my card front where the vellum piece is. I really love this adhesive because it is repositionable for a certain period of time, so it allows you to position things where you want them. Now I just wanted to add a little bit more orange to my card front, so I took a little piece of pattern paper from My Favorite Things in orange and added that to my card front. Now I really love how this turned out. I love that little window. I think it's super cool. I'm just going to add a little bit of gold foil on that orange paper and my card's going to be finished, guys. Thank you so much for watching my process video today. I really appreciate it. Please leave a comment below if you have a comment for me today, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked my video, and I'll see you another time. Have an amazing day. Bye.